I hope you had a fantastic Christmas break with family and friends, and now it is back to the grind on Monday. I want to go over the gap and go trades for the week of December 29th through January 2nd. I will go over price targets on the 5-minute time frame, have a gap recap from December 22nd through the 26th, and update the chart as well. Hi everyone, it's Dow on the Dow. First up is NEO. We ended the day at $5.10, up 3.87%. The previous week, this was the worst performing ticker within my gap and go trades. Now, we ended here to the north side, takes us to 2 standard deviations, back to an area that we've been to before in 2024, and that is $5.20. That is a take profit area, as well as one level of resistance. Now, the next level takes us to $5.27, another potential take profit area. And I don't think we will get here on Monday, but perhaps another time in the future, 536, another level of resistance and another potential take profit area. To the south side, because there is always a south side, I will mark this line. And that is one level of resistance and a potential buy-in area at 503. Below that, at -2 standard deviations, $4.87, 479, and I don't think we will get to this level on Monday, but down the road, $4.70. Looking left, a couple of gaps to talk about. Let me move this so that you can see. Okay, I extended this out and I had no idea when it was going to touch, and it was very close. It did right there on Tuesday. So this gap that began at 498 is no longer in play. And the bottom there took us down to 494-ish. And there was a gap. Oh, let me delete that first. Then, did that touch? I think it did. Let me move this. Yeah, it certainly did. I have to grab it in the right spot, right here. And that took us down to roughly 488. Oops. That was an expected move to the downside, so congrats if you went short. 496 is gone. All right, and then we have this gap. That will take us down to $4.80 whenever we reverse course. Or we could get wicked down here and then bounce off of that. So this is 494. I'll just delete that. And that takes us down to 480, and that gap started on Thursday, December the 4th. Note we touched here and then bounced off of that, and then bounced off of this because that also turns into support, these gaps. And so from here, the low to basically barcoding the high here, that was a 5% return, 5.75% in 1 week, not too shabby. Remove. Now we still have other gaps to the south side to contend with, so keep that in mind. Yeah, we got slammed down, and now we are reversing. And a couple of gaps to the upside. This will take us to 550 and above that 575, and then there are other gaps too that I just have not extended out. So keep that one in mind for better times. And this one, yeah, we were slammed hard. Look at this. A gazillion gaps. To the upside and to the south side. The 1-year price target is now $7.08. All right, let's go to the next one. Option R first. Let me reset. Oh, one other thing I want to do. Since I marked this out, well, let's do a better job right about there. Very close to this line, and that line I marked out. Oops. You have to grab things when the magnet is turned on. Let me turn that off. So this I marked out on basically Friday the 5th. I did the video on Sunday, so I'm going to delete that. I don't need any of these horizontal lines. Option R. It's just so you can see where we've been and where we could be headed. It's like a diary. All right, this is Nike, up 1.55%. There we go. Move this back. All right, resistance, 2 standard deviations, 62.30. Above that, which I don't think we'll get to on Tuesday, but down the road, 63.21 and 64.17. I just bought some Nike this weekend after Christmas shopping. Let's mark this line out. And that's one level of support at 60.34. And 2 standard deviations, safe realm, 58.43. The outer bands, I don't think we'll get to, but down the road, 57.48 and 56.52. So what happened here? This was the beginning of the week. We went down. This is a gap, and we touched this gap that acted as support, grinding our way to the right, and then making our way up. So you can see there's a gap up, which means we will fill to the downside eventually. That will close at 57.39. Resistance off of a line I already marked previously. And we've got that gap to fill at 65.70 and 67.10. Okay, and then a couple of other little ones here, 57.24 to the south side. And I think that might be the only gap. So I think things will be possibly turning around. Let's go to the 1 hour and see. I think that's it. Yay. So that's good news. 57.26. All right, let's go back to the 5. And the 1-year price target on this is, where did that? Where am I? Oh, there it is, 77.18, which represents a 26.67% return. All right. Boeing is the next one. Ended the week at 216.44. Look at the sell-off at resistance here. Clear buy-in at support. Middle of the trend takes us to 217.42, resistance, 218.94, and then 219.72. We're not going to get to this level on Monday, but down the road, 220.47. And then support, 215.88, 215.12, and 214.38. And what about this gap? We've got a gap to the upside that will take us to roughly 223. When did I mark that? 223.34, Wednesday, October 25th. Keep that in mind. And I know we have other gaps to the upside. Oh yeah, 248.85 there. So I will clean this up later. And then to the downside, this gap is still in play when we reverse, as well as this one. Oops. And this one. Many landmines. Wow, look at that. But we are moving farther away from these gaps. Option R. Oh, that one. What does this one go to? I moved these out of the way to make a thumbnail, I think, and that's why they're all messed up. All right. Next one is Rivn. Option R. Okay, we're at 290 on a downward channel still. Resistance, potential take profit. 21.25, 21.59, and 21.87. Don't think we will get there, but if we do, it will be because of a wick, and then there will be a sell-off as people take their profits and they run. They will lock in and they will leave just for a quick bounce. That's support. We could grind sideways or continue to go down. And another level of support, $20, 19.69 and 19.36. But look at that. This run up, of course, there's going to be a retracement. That's expected down to 17.70. And then we have this one as well. Oh, and other ones to note. We had a run up because I think, didn't they announce that they were going to do something with, was it a ride share with, oh here, Tesla and Rivn hit fresh highs, which, oh, yeah, check out the article for that. But I think they were talking about robo-taxis with, was it Rivn or Lucid now? I don't remember. But I think that's why this stock went running. There was some sort of announcement about that. Okay. Watch out for the landmines. And then to the upside, $20.23. And there are other gaps to the upside too. It's just, I got to find them. I was hoping to hit that 52-week high, which was 22.69. Let me see something. 1 hour. So 23.35, I think, is the last, gap I am tracking. Okay, once that hits, I will no longer continue to track this weekly. I will pick another stock. So here are the price targets. Did I give it to you? Now I'm second guessing myself. Oh yeah, I marked that. And then the outer band, 1935, and by the end of the week we could end up at 1768, and then the upper band, 2020. Okay, and watch out for these gaps as we retrace to the south side. And this move from here to here is about a 28% return in 1 week. That was crazy. Okay, and the last one, Tsly. option R. All right, 39.73, outer band 40.42, 40.78, and 41.13. Let me mark out that middle of the trend line. That's resistance, 39.78. To the south side, support, a potential buy-in, 39.03, 38.68, and 38.33. I own some shares down here. And what happened? So we had this gap. Oh, let me put this back on here. Friday there. All right. I sold some. I should have waited and it eked out some more, but that's okay. Just wanted to get rid of some of my dividend shares. And what happened? So we ran up. That's resistance on the way up, fell back down. Looks like we're just chopping sideways here. So this gap opened and closed to the downside, right about there. Actually, it touched right there. So that took us down to 40.28. So congrats if you went short and made some money. 48.20, 40, 28, 29-ish. All right, and then this gap for a pullback that was expected touched right there, opened up on the 15th, closed on Friday the 26th. Delete. I've traded this many, many times. We've got a gap that will take us up to 42.98 and then another gap to the south side at 36.32. And by the end, oh, there's another thing I'm missing when I see this. It's obvious. There, and I'm missing one over here. Put it back. Friday. Okay. So it looks like all we're going to be doing is retracing from here and then filling it out over here for another buy-in. So I will be buying in at 36.32 most likely. Okay, that does it for me. That is a look at my 108th Gap and Go trades. If there is a ticker that you'd like me to go over, please let me know and have a fantastic week.